Breaking news, people. Major breaking news. A follow-up and more information on the video I started yesterday. Something big is coming. But what if I tell you that something big is already here? Good morning, people. How you do? Share them video. Like them video as you come in. Share them to someone. Because knowledge is power. Something we are short of. We are lack of that. Good morning, people. So it's quite interesting. So yesterday, we talked about the pastors who were called into a meeting by U.S. officials, telling them about alien and what is to be released and how they should prepare their congregation because something big is coming. You hear me talk about the pastors, you hear them talk in their own words. You understand me, gentle people? But for those of you who weren't here yesterday, may I go back to the pastor them who were in the meeting together. 3 of them came online and them share what they heard. Now, since that, me hear some more, they are developing stories. Stuff start coming together. Because you know Carlos know how to put information together. Give me the numbers, give me the letters, and I can make a story out of it. Rastaman Pickney and no fool boy. Lovely people. Remember when the pastors them say that the government may have committed crime in dealing with these entities? This get more real. This is another joke. Do you understand me? We depend on the earth, you know. However, grow to know about a PNP and labor right and PNP, and that's how weird our brains are. But as a group of people, so many things are happening around us. We need to be informed and prepare if necessary. Good morning, Ivan Bradford. Wagwan, enough love. Yeah? Yeah, man. Maiden, Wagwan, enough love. Yeah, man. Good morning, everyone. Enough love. Share the Merca. Share the Merca. Remember, me put it together, me connect the dots. Now look, people. Remember these pastors yesterday? I'm going to start with this video. I'm going to play a phone yesterday.
I've ever been a part of, where the 3 of us, along with maybe 3 others, it seems like a half a dozen people were gathered in an Airbnb in the mountains of Tennessee, discussing an investigation that's going on in the United States government against crimes they have committed in the process of retrieving and reverse engineering technology from non-human intelligence. The meeting also went forward.
Crime. What kind of crime? Me find out the crime, people. Good God Almighty. Good God Almighty. I think I find it out. But me could continue. Me play it back over and listen to them, pastor. Yeah. Them said they were in the meeting, you know. They got called in the meeting, not you and me. And I'm sure, people, as usual, let me sign in. This is for entertainment purposes only. I would suggest you guys can get your popcorn, your drink, or roll a spliff the way you have to do. Listen to this video. Then play it again. Knowledge is power, people. Share this video so Black people can be more knowledgeable.
And we really got data and information that not all of it can we talk about because there's an investigation going on higher ranks of issues. And so we'll talk about the things that we can and should talk about, but we're going to give a lot today. And so what I'd like to do is Bishop Allen, if you could just start with us, my friend, and just begin to talk about what you're understanding and some of the takeaways you have. And then Tony, I'd like you to respond to that. Let's begin.
Well, I've got to say this was one of the most unusual meetings I've ever been a part of, where the 3 of us, along with maybe 3 others, it seems like a half a dozen people were gathered in an Airbnb in the mountains of Tennessee, discussing an investigation that's going on in the United States government against crimes they have committed in the process of retrieving and reverse engineering technology from non-human intelligence. The meeting also went forward to discuss the propaganda plan that was in place leading up to disclosure. And so it was interesting that as we were preparing for this meeting, I think, Tony, was it 2 weeks before the meeting, you reached out to us and said something about this.
Yes.
As we were getting ready, the urgency of the meeting was there's about to be disclosure. We need to have a conversation with key ministers who have a big reach and a big influence so that the body of Christ is not unprepared and is not back on their heels when this information comes out. So the interesting thing about the timing of this meeting is as we were gathering, we saw Obama come out, we saw Trump come out, and then we saw more statements that we're going to talk about here in the future. So that's kind of the gist of the meeting. There was a lot that we'll talk about and unpack here in this conversation. But it was truly one of the most unusual meetings I've ever been a part of.
It really was. Tony, you really were part of the catalyst to get us going in some of these spaces. Can you give us a summary?
Yeah, so you're welcome for having the most unusual meeting you've ever had.
We blame Tony.
Blame the podcaster. So, so long story short, I came in contact with these guys more than a year ago now, and I've been in touch with them, communicating with them, and their heart is to prepare the body of Christ for what's coming. These guys are part of, let's just say, they're Christians in intelligence operations, and they are specifically geared towards trying to, initially it was to gather deep evidence and data on what's actually going on behind the scenes within the disclosure community. And that's made of many different camps. And they have gathered a lot of data. And I remember when I was introduced to them, I got some phone numbers, and we set up a phone call. And I think there was 3 guys on the call, including myself before. And we spent probably about 2 hours on a call discussing what they've come up with and what they believe to be going on with disclosure.
3 of us and a few.
So we played that yesterday. So remember yesterday, I said break law. The front part I saw. Yankee bless Wagwan. Enough love. Maidens, but which pastor got these whites or blacks? I don't know, some pastors there so. But there are pastors that are close to the White House. I would think say more of a Republican pastors. You understand me? I said that's what I'm thinking. That's what I think. Blessings to each and every one in the comment section. Yankee Wagwan, Sir Ransford McLean, soldier, big up yourself. Yeah, man. So at a part of me here, I'm going to play a little.
There's just a handful of people were pulled into a meeting, and we really got data and information that not all of it can we talk about because there's an investigation going on and higher ranks of issues. And so we'll talk about the things that we can and should talk about, but we're going to give a lot today. And so what I'd like to do is Bishop Allen, if you could just start with us, my friend, and just begin to talk about what you're understanding and some of the takeaways you have. And then Tony, I'd like you to respond to that. Let's begin.
Well, I've got to say this was one of the most unusual meetings I've ever been a part of, where the 3 of us, along with maybe 3 others, it seems like a half a dozen people were gathered in an Airbnb in the mountains of Tennessee, discussing an investigation that's going on in the United States government against crimes they have committed in the process of retrieving and reverse engineering technology from non-human intelligence.
Crime. So I start poke around. And I told her yesterday, when I get off the channel and don't do that video, they have a bridging. Big up yourself, Baba, anywhere there. May I tell you, say, knowledge is power. Baba always call me people. Off here, him not call the show, because what I do is too heavy. May I tell you, we out there, so. It's a Jamaican brother. Our elder. The man is full of knowledge. Remember the first time Baba called me and talked to me. Baba in one different galaxy. When I tell me not understand, me not catch up yet. Yesterday we do my video. Baba said, Carlos, you're right there, man. You're the first blogger to come up with this. You're right there where you should have been. So now when Baba hear me talk these things, he start giving me more information. Lord God, me just a reach Baba. At least let me get used to the era now. People, big up yourself, Baba. Because long time you call me a reason about them things, you know. But so guess what, Baba? Tell me, say. Come here, that was the video I watched yesterday, you know. And I question the part about law breaking and investigation to Baba. So Baba tell me, say, them and them are swap you out for information, for technology from them. We get swap out. He might tell me about the smoothie. Hey, but tell me about the smoothie, you know. Yeah, man. I saw them consume, you know. Skin and all them things that smoothie out, you know, with ice. And that Baba tell me again. More information they might give me. When Baba started telling about them things, it's like me never ready yet. You know what me stuck at? PNP and labor right. You can't tell me nothing about PNP and labor right. Me fully cover that. But didn't I tell you that me leave that alone? There are different levels to some stuff. You understand me? Even now and then me go burn a fire upon Wagwan in Jamaica when it stand up like a sore thumb. But me not follow no everything Wagwan in Jamaica. Me not in that. There are different levels. There are reasons why PNP and labor right are going on. So there are reasons why we life now go better. There are reasons why the water now flow down so. You have to go around PNP and labor right and go upstream. And then you will know, oh, really? I block up the water. Let's continue with this. Now that we hear about investigation and law, we're broke. See a backside of Wagwan. Me start poke round. Because you know, me not run for them look poking around no people and investigate for my own, you know. Because I have nobody else send me them in for you. So let's hear this from Alex Jones.
Here that confirmed it.
Hold
and
on.
Knew where the
You see this man attack? Look on him. Richard Greer. Years him talk about these things. People say I'm a madman. People about 30 years them and talk about that. Them say I'm a madman. You know, I hear me say, people. No people think say the man a madman, I'm a conspiracy theorist, the man is a doctor. I don't know, now I'm a doctor too. So guess what now? Make we listen to him. So now, everybody know I call him genius. Him and other man, but he could have sitting long time. Now, everything that come out, what he would say, they were calling him mad. But listen, Dr. Greer, let's listen to what I'm going about laws. There's an investigation, laws where them are broke. Ah, boy, they're wicked, you know. What the picnic there we're missing at Jamaica? I know we're missing by a place, you know, even at the US, you know. Every year, you know. Thousands of people missing, hundreds of thousands of people missing, just gone off of the planet, so just missing and gone. But hold on there. Me have more video for play phone now, because I put it together, man. Remember me, I string it. Let's listen to that mad man, yeah. That, what they used to call that brother, mad Richard Greer, the doctor. Listen to that man.
forget the Iran war. That's a hiccup. The other thing people don't realize, they're using man-made UFOs to move around. In other words, you will hear from 3 or 4 military guys on May 8th describing man-made, one of them 300 feet across, an octagon, where they were transporting humans crated up with little HVAC systems on them. And this is a Marine, special operations guy. And his, account, it was chilling. And then what happened, we have some Delta Force guys who at a black site, I won't name here, that confirmed it and knew where those were being taken to and what they were doing with it. So it's a lot of it is shocking material. Now I've known of this since the 90s.
I was going to say, you said 30 years ago, this separate Expert-Tech report, whatever you want to call it, they're going to false flag and blame the aliens and claim it's an alien attack. And then now we're getting it from Congress, we're getting it from Delta Force. It's incredible.
Well, this is how you get real endless war in a totalitarian global super state. Oh, forget the Iran war. That's a hiccup. This is the big one. And I've warned about this for 30 years because I learned about it back in the early 90s, so that there was a very concerted effort to present a false threat from space to try to make us give up our rights and liberties, to bow down through fear of a super state. And this has been the real ultimate false flag. What people don't understand, everyone's waiting for some event in the future. I said, no, they launched this whole criminal enterprise in the late 1950s.
That's right. It's all a slow rollout, but it's beginning to peak. So I just want to say this up front. I should have said this. Yep. You are completely vindicated. I can pull up clips of you 30 years ago predicting this. It's all happening just like you said.
Yep. And well, excuse my language, but a lot of senior government officials here, I'm in Washington right now up the street from the White House, and they're having an oh shit moment.
Thank you for your support. Tell us your story.
He said, them having an oh shit moment. Long time I talk about him too. They see brother there. They call him madman. And I'm sure them ban him from many circles. I said they did people. You're a madman. Build up story. But hold on there. While I keep poking a little bit more. Me a poke. And me I hear from TMZ. Me I get to it, man.
What I want to make sure I'm understanding is a member of our government has told you and others, I guess, that there is a form of alien life and machinery which maybe brought this living creature here that interacted in some form with people?
Yeah, they have, and they've. It's pretty wild. I know, but I'm just telling you, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd take a lie to you. You won't put me on a polygraph, I'll take it. But this is what the guy told me. I mean, I've had a very high-ranking naval official describe. I've talked about this before. Underwater craft, something big as a football field, moving at over 200 miles an hour. And there's no fish in the ocean that would do that. We don't even have a sub that'll probably do 40 miles an hour and the last thing he said before he left my office was, it was kind of weird because he didn't go out he went out the side door, which nobody ever uses. And he looked at me and pulled me up close. He said, Tim, they're real. And that's the last thing he said to me. That'll be the title of my book, I guess.
What I want to make sure I'm understanding.
So there's a congressman. We start dig up a little bit more. Me even say a congressman attack. But this is serious, people. Let's watch this. I go back to Mr. Greer. The same brother I keep talking for years. Say, my madman. Listen.
Cover anything relevant.
Hold on.
Are any of these aliens humanoid enough to actually mate with actual humans and create mixed human-alien offspring?
I doubt it. There are some species. There's one species in particular would look like first cousins, but what I know about embryology and reproduction, I'm not so sure that would be possible without it being done artificially. Now, I mean, obviously, with CRISPR and with cloning and other technologies, you could do some things. But in terms of, let's just call it normal reproduction, I doubt that very seriously.
All right. I mean, you need to really be aligned in terms of your DNA to create offspring. So, for example, a donkey and a horse could have sex, but they'll create a mule, which cannot recreate itself.
Right.
All right. But they can actually create a mule. They can create a genetic offspring that's a mix between the two. It just can't reproduce. So,
So this gets into this whole question of, have these sort of experiments been done in classified projects? And the answer is yes. And so there are some rather monstrous programs that would make Mingala.
Listen.
I know about them, and I know people who've worked in them.
Crime.
So have there been some of these things done by humans, not by the ETs? Yes. And, you get into some very strange life forms, let's call them, that look partially human, partially extraterrestrial as a result of these programs. I know there's one that was operational out at Dugway Proving Grounds in Utah. We have a man who was there who saw this. So scientifically, there's no reason why a bunch of mad scientists in covert programs with what they have couldn't do it. My problem is to what end and under what ethical universe. But also, could these objects, these sort of life forms, be used again in a deceptive operation? The false flag, yes. So this is one of the big problems, is that is this like a stinking onion? You pull this back and it's one layer after another. You think you've gotten to the center of it. There are 30 more layers. And that's unfortunately what I've been trying to do for 33 years. But every time I think I've hit the end of how gruesome and crazy these covert programs get, I hit another sub-basement of crazy. And I just learned of the worst one 2 weeks ago.
And what is that?
I mentioned what Michael Herrera, the Marine, saw in transporting humans in these crates. Well, a man who's currently very high up in these covert programs contacted me and said, and I've since been meeting with him, those were used in human experimentation to, and they were recruiting and selecting people in very poor, desperately poor countries who said, yeah, get me out of here. And they would take them, crate them up, take them to a place out in the desert. I know where it is. And they would, were selected for having a high telepathic or precognitive, what's called P3.
So them select you. Them know you. Them select. Them know the people. Them select them. And what if that's why them scientists missing? People like them there. Them that want and some other people from other poor country. You're smart. You have certain type of skills. But eventually see better.
Who said, yeah, get me out of here. And they would take them, crate them up, take them to a place out in the desert. I know where it is. And they would, were selected for having a high telepathic or precognitive, what's called P3, and psychokinetic capabilities. And those people were then used in human experimentation with machinery to create a human machine conscious interface to be able to basically take over the conscious technology interface guidance systems of ET craft to basically hijack them, bring them over to sites and hit them with electromagnetic pulse weapons. Now, you can unpack that for a few years, what I just told you, but I know for a fact that that program is ongoing. In fact, I'm planning to go out to this site soon to deal with it directly. So, you know, we're moving very, very quickly. It's a shame that the Congress is moving at the speed of a glacier, as is, of course, the mainstream media. Of course, the mainstream media never covers anything important. A show like yours can't, but, you know, I mean, ABC and CNN and Fox, so they're never going to cover anything relevant.
So enough we get missing. And what are we there? In some lab somewhere? That's why the part of the pastor said yesterday, say, law broken. So I don't know if the president, this current administration, are going to do some type of investigation. Listen, Mr. Greer, I'm going to make one. It's a very short clip. Listen to this.
I'm not going to sit and list a bunch of names right here, right now, but we do need at some point to have an attorney general who will begin to make quite clear people should be prosecuted up to and including treason for what they've been doing and are doing. I'm not going to sit and list a bunch of names right here, right now, but we do need at some point to have an attorney general who will begin to make quite clear people should be prosecuted up to and including treason for what they've been doing and are doing.
What they've been doing and are doing. Them still advert them thing from people. Yeah, man, say, man, go up one of them sites, yeah, man. He gonna look for one of them sites. He's going to look. Then I stop. So hold on there. When my Bridget Barber called me back yesterday and telling about the smoothie with ice. Human smoothie. Barber no off. But hold on there. I wanted to hear something now. Because I start poke around yesterday, I hear about this law broke and all them thing there. I said, what kind of law the US could have broke? So I go on with mankind and them beings there. So hold on there. Remember now today, some files released. The president released some UFO files today. But you know, as far as me I look, ain't not much. Because remember, Mr. Man, pay attention to UFO, you know. Yes, Carlos, one of them man there. Pay attention to extraterrestrial. They pay attention to that, people. So another thing where I say I come out of the White House, that stuff will be see already. Nah, give nothing. And I don't believe them will give everything. No, people. I don't think they can. Because if this is a brother say them broke law, them will show you how them sit when they do with human being. Show you that. Eh? Have all different type of half human being, half this and half that. A project when not finished. Frankenstein. Yo, people. So what the man has said, and the alien do it to you know, how we do it to them. A long time this brother attack, you know, and them say mad. But hold on, it get even more serious than this. It get quite more serious than this. Because when you have people, we have like a former congressman, Matt Gaetz. It seems as if he's interested in things like this, right? So he's out there telling us some stuff where I don't think nobody else, most people now gonna come out, come talk. And, you know, him have inside, him have links and contacts, if they did it. And him have people still that tell him stuff. We know Matt Gaetz, right? See him there. Former congressman. Make we listen. Remember we are listening about law, you know. Law are broke. So me I say, what kind of law mankind are broke for alien? What kind of law? That means if they are broke law, that means they have to violate humans for aliens. Baba called me yesterday and said, Carlos, I swap we for technology. You hear the man talk a while ago about the crate, go to some poor country. People probably tell you about opportunity overseas. That's why so much of the people that miss out, they don't know them there. Probably fake job opportunity. You find yourself in a crate in a desert. Isn't that what I hear Dr. Greer just say a while ago? Remember, they used to say mad. You hear Alex Jones saying he's totally vindicated. Over 30 years, madman over 30 years, I tell the people them. And no, everybody has the things that come out. We are living in a moment of information. What was hidden from the wise, revealed to the babe. You know, so yesterday I tell this sister, grandma like come here, grandpa. Me say, you know, so I feel like a babe. She said the same thing to say, yes, me feel like a babe in this time. To what we're learning, me feel like a baby. My father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather never get manager. Me feel like a babe right now. I learned so much information that come to me. I'm going to say to her, say, can you imagine what our grandkids gonna say? I'm a babe. That's how I feel right now. Listen to this, people. Remember, we're talking about breaking the law. I mean, I wonder what kind of law them break. Maybe Matt Gaetz can tell me a little bit more. Don't you think? Because, you know, even at the circle.
Committee, which the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
You know, doctor said a while ago. So they could bring down, that them that I say aside up. Let's start from the top again. Listen good.
Information facility and then work to get it declassified. I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating? What the F heck is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack
Yeah,
that?
I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were...
Hold on there. Caravan of migrants. And Biden, it sound like, what other president will have a caravan? And you talk about the people who come from Venezuela. Some come from Jamaica. Some come from all about, and them go through the jungle, and them come through the desert, and they come at the border, and them come into the US. Who remember that? Let me pull you up a little bit.
Is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted...
6 or 12 locations? And there's one spot. It's like a farm, production. People are missing all over the world.
Of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted was a group, members of Congress, to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress to simultaneously show up at like 8 locations at one time. And so that never occurred.
What do you mean non-human biologics? Like this?
Well, that was the testimony of David Grush before the House Oversight Committee, which I joined, and the testimony was that in crashes of craft that had been recovered by the CIA and through a special program that the CIA had for crash recovery, that it wasn't just the hard materials; it was also biologics, but that they couldn't identify a human source of those biologics. Information facility. And then work to get it declassified. I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief.
So basically what you hear the people is that the congressman come talk. Remember, at 30 years, man like Dr. Greer talk fine. There are people out there talk for a long time, people. You understand me? I say, people are talking, them say they're mad. Dr. Greer, some people say Dr. Greer is not even human. A long time Dr. Richard Greer talk. People out there beat the drum for a long time and them say they're mad people. So now you see things that come out now. So they want to talk to Dr. Greer now and in my old meeting with congressman. I see the White House released some stuff there. Made them go search them. I did not go look at them. I look at a few of them, but when I say I just normal stuff, where me see more of, me see more information than what me see release a while ago. So me here says a bunch of releases I go on. So when I have no more release, I go make sense or or give more information what we don't know. Because remember, Dr. Greer, over 30 years, man, I talk about them thing. Them say, a lie, I tell. But me, Dr. Greer said something a while ago. Me, I go back to that video there. Me go back to that video with the doctor was saying something in that video. And when he was talking about the crate, the crate, the human in a crate, right? And them take him weapon, soldier guy weapon, and him say him never know, say, in that really life of this. Let's check this out.
Cover anything relevant.
Hold on. Now I'll fast forward it some more because it's a specific
Are
point.
any of these aliens
Recruiting and selecting people were then used in human experimentation with machinery to create a human machine conscious interface to be able to basically take over the conscious technology interface guidance systems of ET craft to basically hijack them, bring them over to sites, and hit them with electromagnetic pulse weapons.
That Matt Gitso said a while ago, you know. We'll pull it up a little bit more so you can understand.
These covert programs contacted me and said, and I've since been meeting with him, those were used in human experimentation to, and they were recruiting and selecting people in very poor, desperately poor countries.
The former congressman just said that, right? Over 30 years, that man attack. A madman, tin file hat. Long time attack people. And others, not only him, there are others out there attack, you know. But if you come and say, "Come talk," would I say me a madman too? You see, timing? Timing is everything. This is the moment of information. I could finish listening to whatever they say.
Rare or the Marine saw in transporting humans in these crates. Well, a man who's currently very high up in these covert programs contacted me and said, and I've since been meeting with him, those were used in human experimentation to, and they were recruiting and selecting people in very poor, desperately poor countries who said, yeah, get me out of here. And they would take them, crate them up, take them to a place out in the desert. I know where it is. And they would, were selected for having a high telepathic or precognitive, what's called P3, and psychokinetic capabilities. And those people were then used in human experimentation with machinery to create a human machine conscious interface to be able to basically take over the conscious technology interface guidance systems of ET craft to basically hijack them, bring them over to sites, and hit them with electromagnetic pulse weapons. Now, you can unpack that for a few years, what I just told you, but I know for a fact that that program is ongoing. In fact, I'm planning to go out to this site soon to deal with it directly. So, you know, we're moving very, very quickly. It's a shame that the Congress is moving at the speed of a glacier, as is, of course, the mainstream media. Of course, the mainstream media never covers anything important. A show like yours can't, but, you know, I mean, ABC and CNN and Fox, so they're never going to cover anything relevant.
No, certain places now got here, you know.
Partially human, partially extraterrestrial as a result of these programs. I know there's one that
offspring.
I doubt it. There are some species. There's one species in particular that would look like first cousins, but what I know about embryology and reproduction, I'm not so sure that that would be possible without it being done artificially. Now, I mean, obviously, with CRISPR and with cloning and other technologies, you could do some things. But in terms of, let's just call it normal reproduction, I doubt that very seriously.
All right. I mean, you need to really be aligned in terms of your DNA to create offspring. So, for example, a donkey and a horse can have sex, but they'll create a mule, which cannot recreate itself.
Right.
All right. But they can actually create a mule. They can create a genetic offspring that's a mix between the two. It just can't reproduce. So,
So this gets into this whole question of, have these sort of experiments been done in classified projects? And the answer is yes. And so there are some rather monstrous programs that would make Mingala, and I know about them, and I know people who've worked in them. So have there been some of these things done by humans, not by the ETs? Yes. And
so that means, say, human just wicked, true and true. by humans, not by the ETs. People, mankind wicked. Me just interested in a Wagwan behind the scene. Because a long time people are talking to people. People, a long time people are talk. Long time. But if you post something, it gets swiped and wiped. You can't speak. You get shut down. But you see, information, social media wasn't around back in them days there. So now with social media and everybody have a TV in them hand, the information I get out there now. At the moment of information, make a listen to Dr. Greer on a platform. Yeah. You know them two guys?
Actually robotics. And if you see them move, they're very jerky. And they're actually robotics, but they have what looks like skin. But we had one of our recent whistleblowers knock one down. Point energy and that we have the 0 point energy and anti-gravity systems down. What people have forgotten about is that there's been a similar level of advancement in the biological sciences that's very covert. I was told about this because I'm a medical doctor back in the 90s by some people who worked in those programs where they were taking, for example, you've heard of all the cattle mutilations and all the animal mutilations. That was going on by covert human programs getting biological material to be used as a culture to grow cells from captured, both usually alive, extraterrestrials that we downed their ships with directional energy weapons, then had their bodies, and then they would use humans that had been abducted from many places, including other foreign locations overseas. They would then create these weird, sort of like a Frankenstein creature that looks like an alien. Actually, in the cerebral cortex, they have integrated circuits. So they're under complete control of their operators. They would fool 99.99999% of the public that it's an actual alien. In fact, they would fool the politicians and the people in Congress. I'm very glad, we've started providing this information to members of Congress way back, actually. And you have to remember, some of the briefings I've done that have been in a SCIF, which is a secure compartmented information facility. I have handed over all the 760 top secret whistleblowers and military guys. We only will have about 120 that have come out publicly, right, named. The rest want to remain secret. We've given all that.
Oh, no, you are going. Sometimes people are talking. Yeah, I hear this man right now, I don't know what I'm going to say, madman. What is that tinfoil hat man there? Madman. And me come tell you this is a madman to
all the and the people in Congress. I'm very glad, we've started providing this information to members of Congress way back, actually.
Hold on, let me pull up a little bit. Them they are.
These weird, sort of like a Frankenstein creature that looks like an alien. Actually, in the cerebral cortex, they have integrated circuits. So they're under complete control of their operators. They would fool 0.99999% of the public that it's an actual alien. In fact, they would fool the politicians and the people in Congress. I'm very glad, we've started providing this information to members of Congress way back, actually. You have to remember, some of the briefings I've done that have been in a SCIF, which is a secure compartmented information facility. I have handed over all the 760 top secret whistleblowers and military guys. We only will have about 120 that have come out publicly, right, named. The rest want to remain secret. We've given all that information over to law enforcement and to the White House and to Congress, to the key committees, Senate Intelligence, Armed Services, Oversight, etc. So it's in some time. But now there are key members of Congress currently, like Congressman Burleson and Burchett, but also former Congressman Gates, who have now dug into this and have discovered, excuse my language, but a lot of them have told me they're having an oh shit moment where they realize everything we were putting out in the 1990s is true, and that there is this grand deception that Werner von Braun who invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler, said just before he died, he said that they would fake an alien threat to keep getting money for the military-industrial complex and to try to create a totalitarian world around fighting aliens instead of having real universal peace.
When you hear that, I go. Now, you hear, say, pastor were called, have meeting with government officials, warning them about they might release some documents and alien, and the Christians are not ready for what is to come and all these things. We showed you that yesterday. But you hear that, brother? A long time I'm talking to people. The man, but man can't see things. A doctor.
Werner von Braun, who invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler, said just before he died, he said that they would fake an alien threat to keep getting money for the military-industrial complex and to try to create a totalitarian world around fighting aliens instead of having real universal peace. So he knew this, and in fact, the woman who was his spokesperson for the last 5 years of his life, Carol Rosin, is still living. She's about 80 years old, and she may be there remotely if we can get it set up so she can pipe in and with some updated information that she never revealed from her long association with Werner von Braun. And remember, this was the first rocket scientist. He invented the rocket, the V-2 rocket during World War II. Yep. So, we knew a long time ago that we were doing these sort of experiments on both humans and non-humans. And now there are other creatures. There's a whole category of the ones that look like the grays that are actually robotics. And if you see them move, they're very jerky. And they're actually robotics, but they have what looks like skin. But we had one of our recent whistleblowers knock one down when it was trying to abduct him because they were trying to get him to shut up. And it tore this fake skin open, and underneath were all these fiber optics and integrated circuits in what should have been the chest cavity. So I know this sounds like science fiction to people, but it isn't. And people have to remember that there has been a compelling agenda that's all false to try to convince people of a threat from outer space, because this was a grand scheme concocted in the 1950s to try to eventually create sort of a unified world, but not in peace, but in fear and war.
Listen.
So it's the opposite of what we need. We need universal peace and a time of prosperity and a real golden era. But
Allow me to tell, about 50 years of my plan for this moment. The one world. Can you imagine, see everything that's a line up? Whoa!
What they want to have is sort of a dystopian, totalitarian military unification of the world around a fake threat from outer space. That's been the agenda.
See there? They call the pastor them now. I set it up. We get the pastor them start warm up the people them. Yo, I don't have a face with the nonsense. I mean, I'm not saying people. I don't have a bloody face. Eh? Oh God Almighty. But listen. Me I play back Alex Jones again. And listen what this just a while ago. Listen again.
Confirmed it and knew where those were being taken to and what they were doing with it. So it's a lot of it is shocking material. Now I've known of this since the 90s.
I was going to say, you said 30 years ago, this separate Expert report, we want to call it, they're going to false flag and blame the aliens and claim it's an alien attack. And then now we're getting it from Congress, we're getting it from Delta Force. It's incredible.
Well, this is how you get real endless war and a totalitarian global super state. Oh, forget the Iran war. That's a hiccup. This is the...
You say that again. We say we not trust them boy. Them boy don't love human being. We, them not love. This world is run by a handful of boys. Just a small circle. Them not love nothing outside the circle. Me and Uno, I just nothing. We like a coal we put in a fire to burn to keep feeding pot a boil. We are useful idiots. We are nothing to them people. The world is a wicked place. And the higher up you go, the more cruelty in them
And
heart.
I've warned about this for 30 years because I learned about it back in the early 90s. So that there was a very concerted effort to present a false threat from space to try to make us give up our rights and liberties, to bow down through fear of a super state. And this has been the real ultimate false flag. What people don't understand, everyone's waiting for some event in the future. I said, no, they launched this whole criminal enterprise in the late 1950s.
That's right. It's all.
Want to hear that? In the 50s. What we not know? What per years that, you know? 2026 in the 50s. You must say them boy and a shoot and miss, man. They don't make a mistake, man. Them want to apply for decades and know what year them going to dash it out there. So now them are tell we know. Alien activity are going. And guess what them gone? At the church. God tell pastor. Yo,
Yeah. Slow rollout, but it's beginning to peak. So I just want to say this up front. I should have said this.
Yep.
You are completely vindicated. I can pull up clips of you 30 years ago predicting this. It's all happening just like you said.
Yeah, and well, excuse my language, but a lot of senior government officials here, I'm in Washington right now up the street from the White House, and they're having an oh shit moment.
Thank you for your support.
So what Mr. Dr. Greer say, it's like his life is under threat and he's at peace. He said it might come up missing. Doctor, yeah. A long time I'm talking. So no. You hear all of that? A long time I talk that. So come right in our face in our social media. We know all of these things from a long time. All in our face, so all of a sudden, them call up the pastor them. I tell the pastor with Dr. Greer and others I tell we many years ago about this false flag, blah, blah, blah. People, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't believe a word me say. Just listen. Do you understand, people? Hey, my mother. So in 2026, them come out to hear the news. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz is interested and fascinated by aliens. So you can say, you see him come out and tell me some things where other people can't come out, come tell me. You know, the other congressman, him ask him said can't speak like Matt Gaetz, you know, because he said it was briefed in a secured in a skiff. So once you breathe in you're briefed in a ear like that, him can't come out, say anything, gentle people. So this it started off like listen.
Down in the comment and told them that they need to prepare their.
I want to listen. This is how it all started off. So when you hear Dr. Greer say right there, so put one and one together. This is recently. This is what I want now. Yeah?
Putting you guys, Representative Eric Burleson, the congressman, held a private meeting with a bunch of pastors and preachers from different churches that all met together in the same state, got in the same room, and Congressman Eric Burleson told them that they need to prepare their congregations for the upcoming UFO disclosure that's about to happen. Now, a lot of people have speculated, oh, it's not going to happen. The Pentagon is too worried about the news coming out. They're not going to tell everybody. They're going to redact things or change it to fit their agenda or whatever. I don't know if that's really going to happen or not. But apparently, pastors have been warned and been told that they need to begin to prepare their congregations that the United States is about to release the files that they have captured and discovered UFOs from archaeological digs, from capturing them out of the sky, from crashes, possibly Roswell, and that they are very strange entities. One of the rumors is that some of them are reptilian entities. The whole thing is really bizarre, but he's been telling the pastors in this private meeting that they need to start talking about this to their congregations to get them ready. So let's take a listen to what they had to say.
I had a friend that sent me a text message. I was in a meeting, a weekend meeting, preaching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. And he said, Perry, can you give me a call? I have some information that has come to my attention. Of course, when a friend of yours does that you know quite well, you have no idea what information they're talking about. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. And this particular man, and I'll not name him, and then we may end up doing some teachings with him or having an event at his church. He has a great church. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft, that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures and other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or an Orson Welles book.
There's only a handful of pastors that are invited to come to a private meeting with a group of men who are connected with the intelligence world, that are believers, but are still have very high security clearance. These are legit, true men of God that are still connected to Washington and even this current administration and all branches of military. And they literally told us, we had a sitting congressman, a very well-known congressman from Missouri. He called into that meeting as well. That was just for pastors. And this is what he said. On speakerphone, this sitting powerful member of Congress said, "Are the pastors listening to me?" I'm getting chills right now because this happened to me. He said, "Are the pastors in the room listening to me?" And I said, "Yes, sir, we are here." And he said, "Listen to me. Go and tell the church they are not ready for what is coming. The narrative that is coming, what they are going to say is going to be like nothing you can even imagine. They are preparing to tell us that they are from another dimension, that they are our creator, and that these beings, these aliens, or whatever you want to call them, they were the ones that seeded us here. There is no such thing as God. Jesus was invented by them. The Bible was invented by them." And begin to just say, listen, prepare the people for what is coming because they're not ready. But he loved us so much. He made sure that he told us exactly the blueprint to study. He said, study the days of Noah. And if you can understand how Noah responded, that's how you're going to have to respond. And I believe what God is doing in the body of Christ right now is getting us ready, because the world is going to have a lot of questions. The question for you is, are you going to be able to answer it?
What do you guys think? Is this all part of a big deception? Are they getting ready to roll out Project Bluebeam and they're going to fake something? Are they going to use some kind of hallucination with directed energy or holograms or something like that? Or is this actually real? Is this something that humanity is going to have to wake up to, that our reality is far stranger than people take on the surface? And if it's actually true, a lot of people are in for a rude awakening. Let me know what you guys think is about to happen down in the comments below.
People, the earth, I want to leave with one more video, one final video I want to leave you with. Because in a time like this, people's faith is going to be tested. I'm going to ask you now. Faith will be tested, people.
God bless. I want to give you a message really quick that I can only hope that your pastor is going to give you, or your pastor already has given you. Because I've spent a lot of years wondering how like one particular version of scripture was going to come true. And the fact that the Bible tells us that the very elect of us will be fooled. Not your normal everyday Christians like you or me, but the very elect, the best of us are going to be fooled eventually. And I've always wondered how that was going to happen. Like borderline didn't believe it until now, because America's prepped. She's ready. Satan has us prepped and ready for all of this to happen. And then let me tell you what I mean. Started with COVID. You complied. You closed the doors of your churches.
Mm-hmm.
You shut your worship services down, and you complied. Check. Since then, we've redefined the term abortion to healthcare. We've redefined what a woman is. We now say that there's a difference, between sex and gender. Now we're allowing pretty much anything. You have pastors that are preaching behind pride flags. You have people running for senator in Texas that says God is non-binary. So how are they going to fool the very elect? Because you're prepped, and now this. The government meets with pastors to talk about interdimensional beings. And these interdimensional beings, apparently, according to them, created the earth, created humanity, and what we're going to see now is possibly new religions being created, new idols being created. I hope I'm wrong. But after all of this coming out, how many churches or how many pastors or how many Christians are going to turn their back on God because the existence of some alien or things that humankind has never seen or experienced before? All of those things are in the Bible as well. Beasts coming out of the ocean, different heads, different tails. You can go back to the Old Testament and talk about the Watchers during Noah's days or the Nephilim. It's in there. But there's been a season where you can make it as a Christian without getting into the Word, without really studying your Bible and paying attention. There's been a season for that. But we're coming up on a time that this is no longer going to be a maybe. This will be a requirement. And if you don't want to be one of those very elect that is fooled, it's time to crack this thing open. Read it.
So you can see how the pastor them are take it in America, yeah. Right now, them are worry, them are afraid. Because when we hear say them need to tell them congregation, prepare them congregation for it, and then they're ready for what is to come. It at times what the congregation ask back for their money, they want the congregation ask back for their money. Because all these years past, I live off of them top about say there's a coming. And when this is being said, no, I mean make or no. But either way, people, your faith is gonna be tested. Whether you believe in this, you believe in that. You believe in a Rasta. You believe in a Buddhism. You're a Muslim. Anything you believe in a moment like this, faith will be tested, people. Remember, read them together, the Bible, So you go like say we don't see. It's just a reflection of what it's like. Jesus, did we read this? Then they might come with the one. Everything is controlling them. Remember me tell you, even before we start do them type of video. May I show you say the man might come with the cashless system, total control. And if we don't resist, we'll find ourselves on the plantation. Maybe not in my lifetime, but what about my grandparents then? Be serious. Mankind wicked. I always say I go on here per earth. Not but for control. That's the main agenda, to control you. Wipe off most of we. You never know, say they don't want somebody upon you. You never know that. They start call human being pollution now. Carbon pollution. Just like how they want to get rid of the cow and build fence and tell yourself to start name insect now. You remember that? Because cow, all of a sudden cow, mash up the place. Global warming, and the move fast of the global warming. Me know you don't come tell me about no global warming. First time, me da listen to who know. But no, I'm doing what me know. No boy, no girl, no come tell about no global warming, man. Earth solid, is alive and fix itself. Earth go through several things. I was still there. Me don't want a man tell me about global warming. It's money. No man that tell me about no global warming, brother. Earth to depend, things change. Them boy I use it for a different purpose. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Me look at things different, people. Me is more of a man. He's a natural man. I'm move off of nature. Yeah, man, we move off of nature. We look how mama nature respond. I respond to nature. Me a natural thing kind of people. Me a earth man. Me a nature man. Me move off of nature. I believe if I do something wrong on earth, something wrong gonna do me naturally. And me pass it on to my kids and my grandkids them naturally. Me deal with natural stuff, people. You understand me? That's natural. That's natural. The universe is alive. This is how me believe. The universe is alive. I believe the dust will upon your car where you wash off this morning, the annoying dust for your porch where you sweep off. The dust is alive. Because the dust make the dirt will grow your food. So how is the dust dead? The universe is alive, man. Alive and well, man. The breeze keep you alive. That's life. The universe is alive, man. Millions of years, man. That's why it pissed me off when I see Bill Fence. Make sure you get some bioengineered mosquito. Come on Jamaica, come leg up on the people. Me know so they don't like we. All of the mosquito are going to do just negative towards we. When millions of years human being upon earth, we don't need no more other mosquito. Make us stuck with what we got and go through everything. We go through earthquake, we have volcano, we go through hurricane, we go through typhoon, we go through all kind of things on this earth, a flood. We adjust to Mother Nature, man. Me no want a boy come tell me about no global warming. First time, people. Yes, you could have told me about that. And you got me. No, not armed with what we know now. Me not believe that. Thank you guys for watching this video. yo, people. Big up yourself, Baba. Anyway, if you watch the video, Baba say, human smoothie. That one, people. You know, how that will come out. All that will come out, what them eat. People, just wait, man. Wait, man. This is like how the White House gonna release some stuff now. More people, give some people in the field more energy if you come out, come talk about this stuff. More. Me have some of that video for play now about this thing, I know. Probably blow some on the mind. But this is to me I pay attention, you know. A long time, I pay attention now, people. Me tell you, I pay attention a long time, right? Pay attention. And I believe Dr. Greer said they plan a false flag. False flag. The boss say, alien this, alien that. Then, that's what them come under control. We are going to come under control. Make up pay attention, people. And me I say, make up pay attention. Whatever your faith is, hold on upon it. Whatever your faith is, whatever make you feel good, hold on upon it. Because your faith is going to be tested. Your belief. If you believe certain things, hold on upon it. I know you believe your faith will be strong. Because what we are seeing at them time, and there are going to be so many things that sway your brain. Just like the days of Noah. So it's gonna be today. No, because no, after we start doing the video, we go back and we go dig up some biblical, history. Get find out say Noah, Nephilim, the depth of earth, right? And when the flood come, they flood out. They say Nephilim, right? They say these people come down, people. Right? Alien come down and impregnate the woman, they man get some giants. Giants, right? So when the flood come, the giants are supposed to drown out, but then no, people are coming with all kind of theory how they survive. Maybe one of them cling on upon the ark or they look at thing there. Anyway, people, hey, I had to read yesterday. Anyway, boy. So let me see what Mr. Ransford say. If there was a time called the Ice Age, if the atmosphere wasn't getting warm, we would still be living on a frozen planet. But me not take the global warming. Yes, we understand it's warm. But me not the global warming like them, man. With the global warming them I use, they're not using the right way, Mr. McLean. Because they don't care about we. When you see our Prime Minister Jamaica talk about global warming, this and that, you think them white boy they give out them boy on the island care about we? You think them boy on the island care about we? Care about what we are doing our country? Little Jamaica. Remember, nobody tell America if they shut down them factory and them polluted air in there, they go to Louisiana. I'm down there. I'm driving to a place where them call chemical. It's a place with pure chemical plants there. They call it Cancer Alley. Whoever know that down in Louisiana, Alabama, down that way there. We went down there. So I drive this place and I see this miles and miles and miles of chemical factory on both sides. And I said to myself, it's a backside. Nobody must live in miles close to this place here. Because this place has street cancer. And people tell me, say, yes, they call it Cancer Alley. We don't stop pollute earth, boy. And I'm going to talk about global warming. You might talk about global warming, and all the time, Judge of Earth get a break. And when the big sea did come, when they have the big sea outbreak, when everything shut down, mankind now ease up and money for them, they don't care about Earth. Them not care about Earth, all right? But I'm not clean, if they don't care about Earth, you know, you'd have see them shut down everything at least one day for Mother Earth, for Mother Nature. So Mother Nature can breathe. Maybe one day of every month, we're going to shut down all the buses and the cars, make sure they are electric going on the road. We're going to shut down all the industries, we're shut it off. Just shut it off for 24 hours. Make Mother Nature breathe. Think about that, you know. They will come to about global warming and scientists say, you know, this, that are going to happen within this amount of time. But my God, the man, them still a hustle with. They're not easy a day. You know, the only time this earth get a break in my lifetime, maybe so, in a many lifetime, it was during the big sea. India could see the Himalayas mountain, right? For the first time, right? You could see China from space for the first time in decades. The Himalayas, people from India could see the Himalayas mountain from India for the first time. You know why? Big sea, shut down industries, factories. Workers are drop out and a contact, catch a thing. So everything shut off. The earth could have breathed to backside. The earth could have breathed. You could have seen it even at the US. You could have seen the smog level go down. You could have seen it naturally. The only time in my lifetime, and not for a lifetime, mankind ever slow down and ease up the pressure of Mother Earth is when at the big sea. But even though these big boys, the world leaders, they know how they come out and talk about global warming, but they not stop, brother. They not shut down the factory that we are for one day and the pollution. Just one day. Just one day a month. One day a month, shut down everything. All engines shut off in the country. No train now run. That is not electric train. No car, no truck. That is not electric. Now go nowhere. These are little things we need to consider. So you know what me think better McLean? It's from a sister and I make nothing. I go them and go, man. The compression me and tell me some muscle, but me look a fire. Or my fireplace in my house. Because California, that's how them stay. You know? You have days when you can burn your furnace in your house, your fireplace. Yes! You can't just burn this, you know? You think I'm going to light up sitting in your backyard of California? Then soon tell us how we can have a barbecue at backside. You have special days when to barbecue. California want a tin file hot place too, you know, man. You know, so California, you know, California, them think a certain way. You understand me? Yes, people. Yes, man. I want them to see them ease Mother Nature, man. So, me know in the global warming with them, brother McLean. No, man. Mankind wicked, they don't care about we. They don't care about we. They wouldn't mind half of we drop out. They don't care about we. So, when we see them go out of my little country and we see Prime Minister talking about global warming and we need to take this and take that, we say, such man go sit down. You're just a useful idiot. You're just a useful idiot for them feet fool there. Go sit down. Them boy not give a damn about we. Not a damn. Them don't care about us. And Michael Jackson say it, man. Are you dumb? They're not busy with we. Much as we give a damn in our country if we do nothing towards the environment. This is a little Jamaica, you know, man. Big place like this and now stop it and slow down. Where you come at Jamaica, come tell about no global this, sir. We know if we keep the environment clean. Don't pollute, don't litter. We don't want to go down the river and the stream. Don't. See? But don't. Brother McLean, me did like you, you know. Me understand, say this and the ice cap and all that I melt. But I know this earth go through a cycle. I just believe the earth go through a cycle and come back and end up with start all over again. I just believe earth go through a cycle. Man kind of mash up the earth and them not do nothing to it. But I come to tell you Ireland them about global warming. And what is that? Don't listen to global warming. Something there behind that, man. Something there behind that. You know, see it? Something behind that, man. Look out. Yeah, man. I don't believe that, Mr. McLean. Soji. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I don't believe them, Soji. I don't believe them, my boss. You know, some here reason all the time. A long time I don't see you still, you know. But enough love, my brother. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The people say me don't believe it. If global warming was such a threat, why nobody lock down everything for one day? If every one day, no, man. One day, man. You ever see one ship turn on it, man? People sometimes they must start. Come use work on the port, you know. The port of Oakland. People sometimes the ship them turn on, you know. When you look at one black puff of smoke come out of the ship. People, you know, one big black cloud, it look like the ship they turn off and they turn it back on. One big black cloud, Jesus. Make sure you put on the mask quick and fast. Enough look of pollution I go on, boy. Them have the chemtrail. Them boy not ready for the set, man. Lie them I tell. If they give a damn about Mother Earth, shut down every goddamn thing even for a day. Show me so you care about Earth. Shut down the industry for a day. All the shit when I use pollute Earth. Shut it down. Come together like when you come together on other things. And shut down Mother Earth for one day and make she breathe. The only time Earth breathe in any one of our lifetime is when we couldn't breathe. Hey! Hey! We said the only time Earth breathe in our lifetime and when we could hardly breathe in the big sea. So they're going to take something like that again. So we turn our yard and give Mother Nature a break. Them not love the boy, man. They not love the man. And from the start, I realize, Brother McLean, about this global, this warming stuff. I start run them with it. When we start see what it's all about, this is agenda. It's all some nonsense. I'm trying to push some agenda on us. But them still not stop what they do. But I come tell about global warming. What it makes sense, stop do what you're doing. Polluting the air, polluting the soil, polluting the water, polluting everything. You not stop do what you do. Don't tell me about global warming. Come on my country and come tell me about global warming. Eh? You know. No, I'm not beat. I know you may beat him, Mr. McLean. I know you may beat, you know. No, you may beat. No, me talk about from there, me talk about the Brother McLean. I know you may beat, man. And what you understand, sir, you may beat soldier. Enough love yourself. Enough knowledge you give me. But from the day me talk about the soldier, it came to mind. I'm glad they put it in the comment section so we can raise it again. Because I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I talk about it, see way. No global warming, man. Me that talk about it with the WEF. Because the leader of the WEF and the president, the founder, name was found on the file. But the organization where that the man they start is still a go on. He never dropped because his name fall on the file and find on the file. It's still a go on under some different leadership. WEF. Now for them boy, the leaders some all about a bungle up Europe and all about a meeting. Come back and tell them people about, you know, cashless society, digital society. You hear them talk about freaking. Listen to the language of the boy. That's why none of them language I like, you know. Global warming, cashless, digital, needs. None of them the words I love. Not one of them words I love. I don't think no me and Mr. McLean. Mr. say, hold on. Them boy not love we. What is? You talk about the president and founder of the World Economic Forum. Name was found. And the island boy then file. So you have to step down from the top of WEF. So hold on. World Economic Forum. So the forum still a go on. Even though the founder name was found on the file. With a bunch of nyamming, pickney, drink blood and petty file. I want to be him, I say. And them boy, yeah. We leader them are going to sit down round at them group of people here, black leaders from the Caribbean to Africa. We're going to come back to it. You say, yo, we need to resist. Again, love, you know, peace and love. Can I say, everyone where there, so Mannaz Respect here. Thanks for every line of comments in the comment section. You edify this community. You brighten this space. Knowledge is power. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. We bounce information and ideas off of each other. Any day a man thinks say him know everything, him don't know nothing. Because of the knowledge you are lack of. You can't lack of knowledge because me full of knowledge, me no want no more bounce. We always learn until the last day on earth we all learn. So thanks to everybody who always drop a conscious comment in the comment section. And even they run at this space here, and listen, I and I. You are vibrating on a different frequency. That is why you are here. Yeah, coming and deal no passa. Oh Lord God, my belly. And a rosy over here, so. But we're still there, so. But what me I beg you know this morning, share it for me. One thing me I beg you know, give it a like so the algorithm can, you know, so information like these sometimes get like a kick around on social media because at them boy a platform depend and if you know want black people edify, you know what them do? Them a drag we down. They don't stop beat them information, you know that. But go ahead and share them video. Please, if you don't share to your page, share to somebody on WhatsApp. Yes, man. Listen this here. So people can get conscious in themselves because we as black people need to get information. If you notice, we don't go certain place for information, you know. No, not all of we go certain place for information. A certain place, the whole of we bungle up. Give thanks to the few black people with a bungle up everywhere, where everybody there. And them over there, so I look too. Even though they might come over here, so everybody a bungle up, but they might look everywhere. But somehow we go over here, so they source information, and that's where we are. We need to spread out our people. They have information. It's right here. So you see our next video on this topic. So I'll be powerful. But I just can't give all the information one time. So my next video on this topic, it's going to make you feel like you're a special being. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My name is Jamaican Carlos. I'm out.